Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. My name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, my prompt is surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. So my inspiration for this is the realization that while it is great to go after your heart's desires, your biggest dreams, the ones that are purely for you, purely to make you happy, purely to fulfill your heart and your spirit and your soul, you have such a great purpose in addition to finding your joy. You have a purpose that serves humanity. You have a purpose that makes the world a better place. And sometimes it is simply following your joy and following your passion and expressing that. And just simply by doing that, it makes the world a better place. But other times, there's something greater. There's something that is on the horizon for you or that you're meant to do. There's love you're meant to spread. There's truth you're meant to share that perhaps you're not even aware of. And if you simply surrender and let go of the path before you and trust in your footsteps along the way, you surrender to the greater good. You surrender to the thing that's bigger than you, that knows more than you. You surrender to the greatness of your being and your soul. There's so much power that wants to be expressed through you, and you're meant to surrender to it. So this surrender to something greater than yourself is the inspiration for this reading. So I'm sure you are being pulled in by one of these 4 beautiful flowers. So go ahead and choose group number 1 with the common yarrow, group number 2, the wild carrot, group number 3, the purple loosestrife, or group number 4 with the common tansy, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. If you're new to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, my prompt is surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. So this is an act of love that you're being called into, to surrender your life up to something greater, to something that knows you better than you know yourself, to something that can work through you, or someone, something, however you relate to the divine, that can work through you to create good on this planet, to change the planet and change humanity, serve humanity for the better. So you've got a role to play, and I'm going to help you through this message tap into that energy that helps you move forward in your greatest purpose. So you chose the common yarrow. I did not realize this was yarrow. For some reason, I was thinking yarrow was yellow. I don't know why. Maybe it is yellow in some forms, but this is yarrow nonetheless. And yarrow symbolizes comfort, healing, and purification. It can be used to ward off fevers and colds as well. So this yarrow has something to say. I think I'm going to do a channeled message from it. It feels like she has a message. What do you have to say, Yarrow? What does group number 1 need to hear from you? I am here to help you align to your most altruistic, your most abundant, your most authentic, your most powerful, truthful, honest life. I would like for you to dig deeper in terms of your vision for your life. You not only can create the life of your dreams, you can go after the vision you see on your heart, and your beautiful visions will come to fruition. There's no doubt in that. But dream bigger, dream for the world. not just for your own soul, your family's souls, but for the soul of the world, the soul of the planet, the soul of humanity. You have a greater purpose than simply living in joy. Living in joy is a powerful part of your purpose. Manifesting abundance, manifesting wealth, luxury, manifesting peace and ease is a powerful part of your purpose, because it is the ground through which you will do your most important work to help serve humanity. You're here to make a difference. You're being called into that change-making energy that exists as a part of who you are. This energy is a part of your soul, and your soul won't be fully expressed, fully satiated, fully felt, unless you let this work itself through you. This powerful energy that can change the world for the better. Let it pour through you. Wow, beautiful message from the common Yarrow. Not so common, I think. I think you're not so common. I think you're being called. It's interesting because I think you have big dreams, but you're being called into even bigger dreams. Like, it's small potatoes. I don't normally use that phrase, so it's kind of funny. But it's the dreams that you've been curating for yourself are small potatoes compared to the dreams that are meant to be worked through you from the divine, from your higher self. There's purpose, a deep purpose to your soul. And I think a lot of times confronting purpose and confronting, I don't know if confronting is the right word, but facing the reality that you're meant to create change can be a scary reality, because you might make waves that are uncomfortable for the world around you. A lot of times change is uncomfortable for the world. You might be sharing truths that trigger the status quo. You might be doing something that, like a lot of people shrink in the face of their greatest purpose. But when surrendered to a higher power and the protection of that higher power, it's a lot less scary. When you know what you're doing is for the greater good, when you know what you're doing is ordained by your higher self, by God, by the universe, by goodness itself, love itself, you feel protected in that, and you know ultimately nothing can harm you. So this group is definitely, you are a change maker on this world, and even if you don't realize it yet. So okay, we're going to go ahead and get into the cards now. I pulled an overarching theme card from the Herbal Astrology, and I actually want to read from the guidebook. I don't typically do this, but I feel called to do it in these readings. So you got number 55 with Palo Santo and Guardian, and I actually feel called to light some Palo Santo during this message, while I read this message. 55 reduces to the number 10, which is a number of completion, a number of new beginnings, fulfillment, something coming full circle. I love the word guardian. As I said, you are protected in your purpose. And let's check it out. Okay. Upright, it means gifts from past lives, activating dormant gifts, connecting to the ancestors, guardian of the sacred, and the sacred trickster. Reversed, it means dormant gifts. Again, dormant gifts. They're still lying dormant. Living in the past, latent abilities, karmic inheritance. Astrological rulers are the South Node and Pluto, which, wow, that's pretty powerful and probably tricky energy. The South Node is like what you're leaving behind, kind of, or what you're it's the past, and this is speaking a lot of gifts from past lives, gifts like dormant gifts that you have. So I think there's an energy here of these gifts that I even feel like they're coming from your ancestors. You've inherited them, that are being activated in your life now to activate you to fulfill your life's purpose, a powerful purpose, a healing purpose. So the message here is the ritualistic burning of Palo Santo, which translates to sacred or holy wood, can be traced back to the Incan Empire, where it was used in spiritual ceremonies to cleanse the body and space of malignant darkness. To this day, it is used ritualistically among many indigenous communities throughout Central and South America, particularly to cleanse bad energy, bad air, and the evil eye. Mal de air translated to, quote, bad air, yet it is a spiritual illness believed to be a kind of cold nighttime air created by malignant spirits that enters the body, causing pain, discomfort, sickness, and many other kinds of imbalances. Incan medicine people used this wood in their religious rituals as a tool to neutralize negativity, rejuvenate the mind, body, and spaces, bring peace, balance, and good fortune, and achieve better spiritual communication with their gods. Scientific studies now show how Palo Santo can help relieve stress and anxiety, stimulate circulation, reduce joint and muscle pain, and uplift mood and the immune system. Wow, I didn't know that. It also has proven to cleanse the space, dispel bacteria, and act as an insect repellent. Sweet. I need to take Palo Santo with me when I go out in nature, like burn a little bit. Palo Santo's medicinal qualities are very plutonic in nature. I didn't know that, as it powerfully cleanses malignant energy while being highly invocatory and perfect for strong intention setting. Palo Santo has a long history of use as a magic wand that unlocks innate gifts that have lain dormant, inactive, or blocked, like wisdom, intuition, and sight to see into the past and past lives. So the guidance with Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a protective wand that grants us the power of unlocking innate gifts that have laid dormant, inactive, or blocked. Palo Santo, like the fox, is here to assist you as a spirit guide who helps you navigate the spirit world. The Securan foxes, native to South America, nestle among the desert forests of Palo Santo for shelter, living in symbiosis with these precious trees. Foxes are symbolic of the afterlife, invisibility, and the sacred trickster. Palo Santo neutralizes the venom of dark tricksters and alchemizes its poison into gold, becoming the sacred trickster. I love that. Palo Santo is here to remind you to activate your dormant gifts. You are a guardian of the sacred that has walked many paths. Know that you can neutralize the greatest of poisons and even outwit the smartest of tricksters. I love the sacred trickster, the idea of the sacred trickster. It's neutralizing tricky energy and using it for your own benefit. So it's like kind of throwing it back in the face of the one that may want to fool you or trick you or send you off path. You have a dormant gift to be able to, or maybe this gift is activated to be able to neutralize that energy. And I feel like I keep thinking of a mirror. It's almost like you're mirroring the energy back to the one who's trying to trick you, and it like doesn't touch you, but it just goes, it like is a boomerang back to any energies that may be malevolent. So you do have a powerful protective gift. Yeah, okay. I was mentioning the fox. I didn't even notice the fox. There must be, oh yeah, there's a fox here. Wow. It's like a protective trickster energy. Okay, I'm gonna pull a couple cards from the Woodland Wardens. See what else comes through. Okay, so we have two. We have the Spider and Passion Flower with creative ingenuity. And the Bat and Hellbore with intuition. couple cards from the Earth Magic. The spider is a very benevolent sign. Spiders are incredibly protective, very loving, very nurturing. As much as some people are very triggered by spiders, there's a reason they're triggered. It's because they are very powerful, potent beings. So if you, and I think also, I like to think that if you have a fear of spiders, or really anything, it could be like fear of snakes, like anything that you have a really strong fear of, I think there's potent medicine there. I think the reason you're triggered is because you're meant to have a relationship with that particular being. I had a situation when I was in New Mexico, and I had left the door open all day to this straw bale home I was staying in. And even though there was a screen there, there was still a way for spiders to get in. And that night it was horrible. There were spiders all over the room, and I was having nightmares about spiders. It's like they were like creeping into my dream state. It was insane. And I would wake up like in like fits of fear, just because I had imagined the spider like crawling across my face, or like descending onto my face, or something like that. And it was nonstop. It was like I got rid of as many as I could, and unfortunately I had to kill some, but it was necessary because they really kind of too many got in the space. But I had to face this fear, and I had to reconcile my relationship with the spider. And it ultimately led me to this peaceful feeling of connection to the web of humanity, and a knowing that I'm meant to do something greater within this web. And it led me to, when I went, like a little bit later, I went through Sedona, and I was walking on a trail, and there was a tarantula that crossed my path, and it was wild, but it was beautiful. And I had I wasn't scared of it at all. I mean, at first I was jarred. Like, I've never seen a tarantula in the wild. But I just kind of sat with it for a while, and I just felt this beautiful feminine presence. And she kind of was just, he, I don't know what, the gender of the spider was, but she was just gently walking across the trail and just not wanting to harm anything. And her presence was beautiful. And anyway, so from here on out, I see the spider as a sign of protection and love and nurturing and connection, and as a spirit ally. So if you have any fears in your life, extreme phobias, just know there's something there. Like, you're meant to have this relationship with that being. There is a way to harmony there that you're unaware of. You may be unaware of. So we have island with solitude, and desert with vision quest. Interesting, since I was talking about being in New Mexico and Sedona in the deserts. And that was a solitude trip that I took. I was on my own, and it was literally a vision quest. So yeah, synchronicities are synchronizing. But yeah, so the bat and hellbore. The bat is making me think of the Hanged Man. With the word intuition, that makes sense. The Hanged Man is a state of like hanging upside down to get a new perspective, and a time of waiting, a time of stillness, to allow insight and wisdom to break through so that you can move forward in a more aligned state. If you've been running into these Hanged Man moments where you feel like things aren't moving along and you're wondering why that's so, and it makes you confused, with the word guardian being the overarching theme on the overarching theme card, it feels as though that's very much out of your own protection. You're being called into something amazing that is literally, yes, the purpose of your soul, the true north of what you're meant to do on this planet. And when your true north is a little skewed, you could run into roadblocks. It's almost like your higher self is protecting you. Your higher self, it's like your soul came to this planet to fulfill something. And when your human self starts to get off track, however excited you are about the dreams you want to create and the vision you see, as much as those visions and those dreams are totally valid and will totally come true, there's just more to the story. There's more that you're meant to intuit and align to. There's more power and impact that you're meant to hold and have and express and live out. So I think, yeah, that this is just a reminder that there's more. So wait for that more. Wait for that power of the heart, that power of the soul that comes through. You will be reminded. You will be given the wisdom and the truth and the aha breakthrough that you need to get you on track and get you aligned to this purpose. And there will be a balance there. There will be a balance there. It's not like your whole life is going to be activated by this powerful purpose and you don't get to be a human, and enjoy the little luxuries of being human. It's just, there's more. That's literally the phrase of the day for you. There's more, there's more, there's more. Just keep digging. There's more for you. Okay, I'm going to get into the tarot, and actually I have 2 decks. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown, and then I will use the Radiant Wilds. Ooh, I love that the word wild is in both of them. I didn't plan that, so I like that, because sometimes the idea of purpose, or surrendering to something higher than yourself, or surrendering to something that is going to kind of help guide your way, that almost feels like the opposite of being wild and free, But I think this is just a reminder that no, you're being called into your wild heart, into your, I heard the word provocative being that you need that part of yourself in order to make a difference on this planet. You need the wildness of your soul to tell you what's right so that you can show the world what's right. Okay, let's get into the tarot here. Okay, we have a couple cards here. We have the Four of Wands, which is a beautiful card. This is a card about it's a celebratory card. It can be a card about marriage, a happy home. It is a card full of joy, full of grounded joy, safe joy, protected joy. Yeah, I'm going to keep pulling. We have the Eight of Cups, a card of walking away from what doesn't serve. Whoop. Couple cards flew out. We have the Seven of Wands, a card about protection, standing your ground. 10 of Swords, painful endings. 5 of Swords. There are no, the phrase I always say with the 5 of Swords is there are no winners in war. I'm just going to keep going and then it'll all make sense. I just feel called strangely to give you meanings of each one as they come. Ace of Swords, mental breakthroughs, epiphanies. We did mention that aha moment is coming. And ooh, Ace of Wands, a card of, these are beautiful right next to each other. This is amazing. So it feels like the Ace of Swords comes in and gives you the epiphany and it activates your solar plexus. And by the way, the flowers I'm using are goldenrod. The stone is, this major stone up here is citrine. And then I picked a lot of yellow stones to activate that solar plexus, that inner power, that inner light, that motivation. So Ace of Wands is very much a solar plexus activation and inspiration. So yeah, the insight coming in and then activating you to do something. That's the energy of this whole reading. You're meant to do something. You're meant to change the world and be activated to change the world and to recognize your ability to change the world. To recognize that you do hold power to make a difference. That it is worth it to go to do what you feel called to do, to stand up for what's right, to do what's right. One more card. We have the Three of Cups. That is a card. Oh, wow. Interesting. Four of Wands and Three of Cups can be related to celebration, and they're encompassing the reading. They're on either end here. So there's something to celebrate here. There's something to celebrate in this moment in your life. Something is being activated within you that it has been dormant, and it is coming from that south node, that past life energy, the ancestral energy. It's going to be awakened in you. You are meant to carry on a mission that is activated within your bloodline. It's like everything that your ancestors have done, everything that has led you to this point, every pain point, every bit of joy, every bit of your inspiration and your light, and everything you've walked through on this planet is leading you to this moment where you're activating this dormant gift, and you get to live it out and channel something that is greater than you. Okay. So a lot of you are probably thinking, well, the thing is like, I'm hesitant to speak about the specific purpose that you're meant to activate. I will ask some questions around it, but each one of you, it will be different. The linking energy here, the collective energy here, is that activated ancestral gift that wants to be birthed onto the planet right now. And that is what's happening within you. And how that looks and how that expresses itself is going to be unique to you. I would venture to guess it has something to do with confronting, with the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords being in the center here. And their energy really feels like it's pulling and moving forward and being activated forward. And so we're walking, maybe that's just what we're walking through. Actually, I'm going to pull a card from this vibrational energy oracle, because this almost feels more like the corridor to get there, like the Ten of Swords and the Five of Swords. Like that is really heavy, painful energy. And if those of you have had to process a lot of heavier, painful things to get to this point in your life, that seems to be the vibe here. Like that is the way, that is the corridor, that is the door to this gift being activated. So there's so much purpose in having to walk through what you've had to walk through, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to get to this place where you're ready. Okay, interesting. So it says an open book. It's someone taking steps on stepping stones. The book is behind them. So that does make me think of like past lives, the Akashic records, like something that's written in the stars, something that's written out for you, like a purpose, a mission that you yourself chose to come onto this planet to fulfill. And this light, wow. I think you're meant to experience a lot of joy and pleasure in your life. I think you are meant to experience a lot of light and lightness, easefulness, beauty, love, like being like an experience of being celebrated, uplifted, loved by those around you, like a true kind of Ten of Cups, like dreams come true, fulfilling life energy, like anything you could have wanted for yourself. Like you could never ask for more than what you've received. You're meant to have that. There is this feeling of completion here. And it's a feeling of I've fulfilled my purpose, and I know I've fulfilled it to completion. And now I can rest. Now I can experience this light and this joy. If there's been an internal struggle, if there's been a battle, indecision, if there's been confusion, if there's been, I said struggle, but if it's been really difficult, That's interestingly by design. The resistance you've felt might simply be resistance to aligning to your calling. And once you align to this calling, you recognize that it can't be any other way, and it is a joy to follow these steps into this future that you know is meant for you. So we're walking away from living a quote, I mean, I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but like a small life where okay, so how do I put this? There's a feeling of the big life that you see for yourself will come true. But even that is small compared to the deeper purpose. And what we're walking away from is expectations. We're walking away from seeing ourselves as smaller than we really are. I think that's what it is. It's seeing our gifts and our ability to make an impact as smaller than what it really is. We're finally recognizing our ability to create change, and we're recognizing that the reason we have that ability is because we're surrendered to a higher force that's going to work through us to create that change. So there's less pressure. So it's easier to walk that path because it's the surrendered path. It's a trustful path. It's simply allowing power to be activated within and through you, and showing up to the podium and expressing yourself, not even yourself, expressing, just letting this power express itself through you. It's as simple as that, and you're finally recognizing that it's as simple as that, and it makes you less afraid to go after what you really want to do to change the world. Okay, I'm going to pull some tarot from the Radiant Wilds Tarot. It's like the divine, like, I'm seeing that, I don't know what the name of it, that I Want You poster. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of two things. For some reason, I'm thinking of the woman with is her name Rhonda something? It's that, like, old school poster. She has, like, the bandana, and I think she has her, like, arm up, like her guns up. I'm thinking of her, and then I'm thinking of the Uncle Sam poster that's like, I want you for the military, whatever it is. Anyway, there's a mixture of those. It's like the woman, though, and she's being like, I want you. And anyway, this is like, it feels like the divine reaching down and just saying, like, I want you. I want to, like, you're the one. You're the one that's going to fulfill this mission. So let's do this thing. Like, you already agreed to it in spirit, so let's get your human self on board. It's gonna happen. It's possible. Okay. Pulling cards from the Radiant Wilds now. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups. Wow, another ace. We have 3 elements out of the 4. The only ace we don't have is the Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the High Priestess. And we already did have intuition over here. So there is something about you being connected to your intuition and following your intuition. So this is a beautiful balance, right? The Ace of Cups is like this overflowing, emotionally expressive, but emotionally fulfilled. It's love. It's just expressed love. It's joy and happiness in your own being. So there's a balance in your life between feeling fully emotionally satisfied in your own personal world and this High Priestess energy where you're also connected to the greater purpose of things and you're aligned to that. So the balance that's struck is the fact that you are able to act in your humanness, act in your quote unquote smallness, but sorry, I feel like I'm being an oxymoron because I mentioned earlier, like, you are greater than the small vision you see, but this is a little bit of a different message. It's more like you're recognizing that you can still remain in your smallness, in your humanness, and you can have your small human life that feels nourishing and good to you and just fulfilling for you. That your simple life, enjoying the simple pleasures, and really in a strange way, through recognizing your smallness in the greater scheme of things and surrendering to something greater to work through you, that almost allows you to live this balanced life, because you're not putting so much, like, there's no weight on your shoulders anymore, because you're trusting. All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is follow your intuition, follow the internal steps, the guidance as it comes up. Like this step by step by step, this person on this card here, she or he, they're walking on just one step at a time, and they're following this inner light, and this inner light is beautiful. It's awe-striking. It's so powerful. It is the divine light within. You're surrendered to that, but you're staying in your humanness along the way, and so it's totally doable. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything else I want to say here? I don't think so. I think we're nearing the end of the reading. Okay, these might be a little bit shorter today because I was like half hour. I kind of expected it to be a little longer, but I kind of want to say something about, I don't know. Yeah, the celebratory energy is coming through. Like I'm hearing like applause and joy, and like there is an uproar of applause for you for coming to this moment of recognition of your purpose and surrendering to it and giving into it. So thank you for giving into this side of yourself. And we need you to do this. We need more people to do this, because we need more people in their power and expressing that power for the good in the world and their truth, So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a beautiful new journey for you, and I am in awe of your ability to surrender to this beauty and this light, and keep doing it. So alrighty, thank you so much for being here. I am honored by your presence. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick-a-flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so, as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. I sometimes offer personal readings, so be on the lookout for open slots for those as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. My name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, my prompt is surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. So group number 1 was really beautiful. I'm excited to channel this message for you. You chose group number 2 with the wild carrot, which I mistakenly thought was a Queen Anne's lace. Apparently they are very similar, except for the Queen Anne's lace has a fuzzy stem and wild carrot has a like a bare stem, I guess that's what you'd say. And it does look like carrot leaves here now that, you know, I realize it's wild carrot. But yeah, the wild carrot symbolizes wisdom, purity, and sanctuary. And I do want to mention that because it looked so much like Queen Anne's lace, I want to, like, that trickster energy is a little bit present. So I want to mention that, and we'll see if it comes around in the reading. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So I pulled a card from the... You know what? Wait a second. Do you have anything to say? First, I'm going to ask the wild carrot if she has anything to say, and I'll almost apologize for not giving her that opportunity. Wild carrot, do you have anything to say to group number 2? I love you. I love you, and the world is ready for what you have to give, what you have to offer. So tap in, embrace your beauty, embrace your love. I think I just got bit. Sometimes there are little bugs when I bring in flowers from outside, and sometimes there'll be like little bugs. Anyway, sorry, wild carrot. What else do you have to say? As I was saying, the world is ready to receive you. The world needs what you have to give. Activate your gifts and let them pour forth. Thank you for being you. You are beautiful in your authenticity, in your love, in your simplicity, in your truth, in your color, in your uniqueness. We need you exactly as you are. So all you have to do is simply show up. All right. Thank you, wild carrot. I feel like it was just a funny... Like, I didn't even ask at first if the wild carrot had something to say, and I was like, just put it down. And it kept I kept getting this weird feeling like, no, you got to ask, see if the flower has something to say. And I just felt like there was almost like this dismissive energy. And even with, like, there was a distraction. It was like, oh, did something bite me? So that could be, like, it's almost making me think of your inner voice, like something that has something really amazing to say to you, or even like a part of you that's very unique and just true to who you are, very different from the world around you, but beautiful in its own right. And you, like, not really giving it the credence that it deserves. There could be a part of your soul that is dying to be expressed in the world, is just so ready to be expressed. And all you really have to do is give it some space to express itself and be diligent about it. It's almost like you kind of have to, like, push into it. Kind of like how it felt like almost like, oh, I had to go out of my way to make sure this had the opportunity to say something. You know, the wild carrot had the opportunity. And then even with the distraction, I felt like it almost took me off course, and then it went blank for a second. And I had to wait and then let the energy come back up. And there was just this feeling of, as I was saying. And so this could even be translatable into, like, creative gifts, spiritual gifts. Like, if there's something that you've put on the back burner, or you've kind of dismissed, or not given the time of day to as much as you'd hope, the way it was, like, as I was saying, it feels like if you do pick this thing back up, like this gift or this hobby or this whatever it is to you that you've put on the back burner, if you do pick it back up, you will jump right back in where you left off. You didn't lose anything. Nothing's been lost. It's right there for you and ready for you. So all you have to do is, like, pick up the pen, pick up the paintbrush, pick up the guitar, like, pick whatever it is for you. You will know what that is. Okay, so I pulled a card from the Herbal Astrology to be an overarching theme for your reading, and I will read from the guidebook for all 4 readings for these. So we have Rishi, number 27, with Retreat. Okay, let me get into this book. Okay, here we go. Upright, retreat, recovery, meditation, hibernation, spiritual contemplation, replenishment of spirit. In reversed, it is silence, recovery, time to pause, overstimulation, stress, deterioration, and nearing burnout. The astrological rulers are Jupiter and the Sun, which that's really beautiful. Jupiter and the Sun are very like expansive, powerful, loud energies. Called Lingzi in Chinese, Rishi represents immortality and is considered the herb of spiritual potency, meaning success, well-being, divine power, and longevity. Said to have been discovered in 396 BC in the Changbai Mountains of China by Taoist monks, it is one of the oldest mushrooms used in medicine. It has long been called an anti-aging mushroom and powerful Shin tonic, a category of medicines that nourish the spirit. In China's oldest Materia Medica, the herbal classic written around 200 CE, Rishi held first place above ginseng. The text says Rishi helps stabilize qi in the head and assists in mental activities, tonifies the spleen, increases wisdom, and improves memory. Long-term consumption will lighten the body, increase vitality, and delay aging for years. This is making me want to get some Rishi. Rishi's borderline miraculous properties are being researched, verifying ancient knowledge, including how the mushroom profoundly relaxes the nervous system, calms the mind, and induces a state of relaxed focus. One of the many reasons spiritual seekers consume this mushroom is for the spiritual experience it unlocks when in meditation. Recent studies have also demonstrated measurable life-extending properties, as well as Rishi's ability to activate brain neurons and increase nerve growth factor levels in cells. Rishi powerfully influences our main spiritual centers, the endocrine, nervous, and hormonal systems. Hormones powerfully impact our perception, mood, sleep-wake cycles, ability to bond with others, and awareness of reality. They activate the nervous system, which is also directly related to igniting mystical experiences. Rishi is ruled by Jupiter, the guru of planets, the one that dictates how we derive wisdom and access to the mysteries of life. Jupiter has a vast quantity of spirit-enhancing herbs that are often used in meditation and to induce altered states of meditation, like Rishi. So the guidance. Pause. It's time for renewal. If you feel overwhelmed or mentally overloaded, it's time to retreat. Take the time to recuperate and recharge, and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and indecision lead to a sense of weakness, imprisonment, and a feeling that you are evading death. Like bear, hibernate or rest before you take on the next project or challenge. Many Native American tribes have called this space of inner contemplation the Dream Lodge, a place to witness death and see beyond the confines of physical reality by visiting the dream time. Create the space to be in silence and calm the internet chatter. Reflection is key to the path of self-mastery. All right. It literally says calm the internet chatter. So that's maybe some of you need to get off of the internet, get off of devices. Ultimately, sounds like this is a really ancient and powerful, revered mushroom that enhances longevity and nourishes the nervous system. It really makes me want to get some, honestly. It really makes me want to take Rishi on the regular. But yeah, 27 reduces to 9, which is a number about endings. This 9 is, to me, it's like almost there, not quite yet. But there's always a purpose in the almost there. There's always a seed, like there's a reason you're in the almost there, you know, like there's a seed of wisdom. There's a seed of truth. Like there's a gift in the almost there. So maybe this is just your message to retreat, slow down, and find that gift, you know, awaken to that gift. I love that the bear is here as well. Bears are, you know, everybody knows bears are, they take that time every year to hibernate, to slow down, to retreat, and you are in great need of that. So pay heed to this message and take some time to yourself, some real time, not just like a couple hours, you know, real time, like a couple days, or in a way you could, I guess you could even every day create some sacred space in each day that is, you know, device free, and time in nature could really help. Just yeah, like you're in need of carving out sacred space, really, for communion with your soul. All right, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Woodland Wardens. Yeah, even as I'm channeling the message, I do feel like this, like nearing kind of burnout energy. Like, oh, can I even do this? Like, can I even, like, I don't know. It's like a exhaustion feeling. And I did not feel that with group number 1 at all. So I get, but it's like wanting to trek forward, wanting to move forward, having a mission, having a purpose, having something you're wanting to lay out, but feeling exhausted and teetering between like pushing forward and plowing forward till you're done, or deciding to just let go and take that time to retreat. And obviously I'm telling you here, the answer is to take that time to retreat. There's a feeling of like going backwards to move forwards. Like we're moving back, and because we've taken a few steps back and we've given ourselves the sacred time to let go of all of it, we can realign and move forward more refreshed. So you need that. You absolutely need that. I think quite simply, it feels that the message is that it's going to make it more pleasurable for you. Like you're really, like your guides here are really looking out for you and wanting you to have a pleasurable experience of life, a pleasurable experience of the journey, even in that almost there moment in your life. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to be exhausted through it. You can ease yourself into the fulfillment of your goal in a lovely, grounded, peaceful way, so that when you do attain this thing that you're working towards, or this, whenever you land in the new reality, you'll land there from a place of space and rejuvenation and freedom and lightness, and you'll be so grateful that you took that time. Okay. Okay, we have the Crow and Dogwood with Intelligence. Oh, I love that. I was just looking at pictures of dogwood flowers at the last place I lived. And then we have the Finch and Peach with Romance. Aw, I love that too. The Finch makes me think of soulmate friends. Reminds me of an older man that I knew that was kind of like, I saw him as like kind of uncle vibes, like, but I worked in his flower garden, and I knew him from working at a restaurant. He would be like one of the regulars that comes in and sits at the bar, like at the front, and drinks coffee. And he offered to have me and my friend work in his flower garden. And at first I was like, what is this dude asking me to come out to his flower garden to work? Like, this sounds super weird. But once I went out there and I saw the flower garden he was talking about, it was like a 1/2 acre flower field of these like cultivated daylilies that his late wife had been taken care of, and he really did need help. And it was like, oh, okay, you need people to help you with this, like regularly throughout the summer. Like, okay, cool. Yeah. And like it was a side gig, but he ended up becoming like chosen family, in a way. And anyway, the Finch reminds me of him. And I don't know why I'm rambling on about this, but I also kind of feel like he's a spirit guide too. So this could be a sign for you that a passed away loved one who felt like chosen family is here with you now and is guiding you through your life. And he also represented to me joy and levity. And there is that feeling here, like you're meant to feel joyful on this journey. You're meant to feel light. You're meant to have others to share this journey with, that like it's meant to feel really good. And I feel like you in particular have gotten yourself to a place where it feels heavy, and this isn't the way it's meant to be. You're meant to enjoy the journey. So yeah, we'll keep going. This card kind of wants to pop his little head out. We have the Hare and Oak with new opportunities. I am going to pull a couple cards from the Earth Magic now. The hare, the rabbit, is my sign for you are exactly where you're meant to be. If there's someone you can reach out to talk about like your burnout or talk about your struggles that you're going through right now, or the intensity that you may be going through, reach out to that person. Someone who is a friend that brings in a sense of levity and joy for you. Someone like a light energy. It's like someone who's playful and light. That's the feeling, like reaching out to them and just like having a little powwow and hang out with them. And I feel like that's going to help you snap out of this heavier kind of energy. We have DNA with karma. And whale with breach. Whew, I just want to send you Reiki. Like there is like a heavier, whew. I'm going to do that right now. If you feel called to, you can open up to this little bit of Reiki I'm going to send right now. But don't feel like you have to. I'm just going to do this real quick. Just like a little Reiki boost. That's all I needed to do. A little bit of light. I just was getting this like sinking feeling. Okay, let's see. What else are we doing? Let's pull some tarot cards from the Wild Unknown. With the prompt being about guiding you into the center of your soul's purpose, it kind of feels like this is the group that knows their purpose and has been chugging along at it, has been working really hard and really diligently and trying to attain something, trying to create something, trying to make something happen. And this is a reminder that part of your life's purpose is literally to enjoy your life and to be present with what is, and to just find the light and the joy that is available to you. And it is available to you. It's available to you almost more than others in a way, because the very fact that you are out of balance, and that the balance that's desperately trying to find you is the lightness, is the joy, is the levity. Like, it is so easily accessible to you. It's literally it's what's, like, I'm thinking of the Justice card. It's what's right. So if you just let go of all of this, surrender all of this, and allow that light in, it will naturally flow through you. You don't have to do any work. You just have to let it in. You just have to agree to it. Oh, yes, the energy's starting to lighten up. I love that. Like, take a bath. I heard take a bath. Take a dip. Queen of Swords. Mother of Swords. Got some random cards coming out here. Aw, we have the Hanged Man. We had the bat in group number 1 came through in these Woodland Wardens Oracle. So I think it's interesting that another bat randomly is in this group of readings. I wonder what bats are symbolic of. Oh, death and rebirth. Acute powers of perception when you need courage to face the dark. Okay. The Hanged Man is about pausing, taking a break, gaining new perspective from that break. This is a full break though. I keep telling you to take a break, and then I feel like eye roll energy, and then I feel someone like thinking like, oh, I'll take a break, and it's like it's like a half-assed break. This is a real break you're being called into. Like, you really have to detach. You really have to surrender. You really have to let go of the outcome of this situation that you're concerned about. You really, really have to let go and surrender. We're talking about life purpose here. We're talking about surrendering to a higher power. There is a path laid out for you, one where you are enjoying the path. And so you can't surrender to that if you just keep half-assed taking your little mini breaks that don't really truly rejuvenate your soul. You have to take a real break. You really have to let go and reconnect to your inner voice. You have to reconnect to your truth. The Queen of Swords is someone who knows who she is. She is clear, she is grounded, she is balanced. There's this feeling of fairness, this feeling of everything feeling right within your being, a balance between your work, your play, and your sense of joy. It's really like you're meant to experience levity and joy. We need to blend these up. We need like a real, it was like, yeah, there is like this desire to half-ass things with you. Like, no offense. It is like, I almost wanted to half-ass like shuffling these cards. And I'm like, I really have to push to, you know, make something happen. And I really want, now I'm like, I really want to shuffle these up really good, because like you really need like a shuffling up. You need your energy to be like jarred a little bit so you can really like break out of this weird like heavy pattern you've been in. Okay. Here we go. This is fresher. I like this. So 5 of Cups. I do want to say, for some reason, I know these two kind of wanted to be reversed. So I think I'm going to put them reversed. Why not? I don't like to do reversals very often, but in this case, it just needs to happen. You need shake-up energy. Ooh, whoa. 9 of Swords. Holy moly. And with the bat being about facing your fears, like 9 of Swords is about fears. What are we afraid of? Why are we afraid of the pause? Why are we afraid of the break? Why are we afraid of reconnecting to ourselves? What's that about? We have the 4 of Pentacles. That makes sense. It checks out. That is something, it's about clinging sometimes. It's about being a little bit too rigid sometimes. And then, whoa, this is interesting. Encompassing the reading on either end, we have the Father of Swords and the Mother of Swords, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. That is wild. We also have romance up here. I just want to call that out just because this does make a pair, like this kind of are like counterparts. So I think the fact that that says romance, that's interesting. And as I was shuffling, the 2 of Cups did speak to me a little bit as I was shuffling. So it kind of like made itself known. I took a mental note. So there could be something here about a relationship. There could be something here about a relationship helping you to let go, reminding you to be free and to enjoy your life. Maybe that's something, it could be something you need in your life, or that like with new opportunities here, and you are, with the rabbit being you are right where you're meant to be. There could be an opportunity here for romance. There could be an opportunity to meet someone. If it's not about meeting someone, it could be an opportunity in your existing relationship. It could be an opportunity to romanticize your life, to find joy and pleasure and color in your life. You do have an awesome opportunity to fall in love with life again right now. I think you're like, things are ripe for that. And it's an interesting juxtaposition against this heavier energy where you've just been pushing and pushing and pushing. So I'm also like taking note of this fear energy as well. So it's interesting, like, what are we afraid of? Why are we afraid to fully like embrace, like, I don't know, like fall in love with life? Like, why are we afraid to embrace the joy in what is? Why is there fear there? That's interesting. That's my question. So I'm going to pull a couple cards from the vibrational energy oracle to ask that question. Like, why is there fear? Because it seems like your life is ripe to really truly deepen into enjoyment and pleasure, and you are resisting it for sure. And I did, when I pulled the whale breach card earlier, I had this thought of like, okay, so like you are okay with breaching the surface and having that moment of clarity and freedom, but then you go back down and then you're back in this heavier energy. Like, it's like you've just grown accustomed to like, oh, every once in a while I have like a breakthrough. Every once in a while I have a moment of levity, and that's enough. But it's like, no, that's not enough. Like, you're meant to experience levity and joy most of the time. So I don't know how you've gotten yourself into a pattern where you have allowed yourself to believe that this type of patterning is like quote unquote normal. Like, it's okay to go through, like, this is the small phase. Like, patterns where you are existing in heaviness, and maybe few, like moments of levity are few and far between, are not like the norm. This is the phase that you're meant to come out of, and the norm is meant to be joy, like regular joy and excitement and happiness about your life. So I think there's just like a backwards kind of mentality. There could be a fear of getting what you want, like a fear of getting what you want and then a fear of losing it, a fear of receiving what you want and not being able to fully enjoy it. Interesting. I love that this is a purpose reading and your purpose is to be happy. Like, this is beautiful. So we have knowing here. There is a mind here. I think it makes sense with all this air element, like the Father of Swords and the Mother of Swords. And then we also have, oh, interesting. Group number 1 got this card. An open book. And the fact that you have DNA and karma. And then this open book card, with the book, like this person is walking forward into the light and the book is behind them. And it makes me think of the Akashic records. It makes me think of like ancestral wisdom or ancestral, even like whatever. Actually, yeah, in this case, ancestral wisdom, ancestral gifts, not necessarily, this feels like a leaving behind of ancestral wounding and a moving forward into the inheritance of your ancestral gifts, like the beauty of your ancestors, the love of your ancestors, the dreams of your ancestors, like being played out and fully embodied in your life. You are meant to walk forward, and the biggest part of this dream is for you to be happy and contented in your personal life, in your emotional world, in your connection to your immediate circle, in your connection to your loved ones, your family. Like, this is the energy that you're meant to walk into. So you're meant to put this as a priority right now. This is actually very important that you put this as a priority. Like, I'm really getting like a very corrective energy coming in here, like a very stern energy. And it does seem like you need extra nudgings, like you need extra reminders. And I don't know if there's like, when I think of the fears, like I do think of like, I'm feeling like my sacral energy. Like it could be like fear of intimacy, maybe. I mean, fear of being seen, is that resonating? Like, I'm just definitely curious what's going on here. Fear of being perceived a certain way. Like it has something to do with relationships. Like it has something to do with, being seen. It could, feeling exposed or feeling vulnerable. Like you don't want to go to that place. There are fears there, I think. But you don't have to like go to the extremes and unveil yourself to someone like, all at once. You can truly, this is calling you into a reconnection to the self. And so this feels like first and foremost you falling back in love with yourself. And so that's a little less scary. And I think that's step number one, like fall in love with your life, fall in love with yourself, fall in love with your own unique nature, and remember who you are in so many ways. Remember your inner child, remember your like the sensual nature, remember like the beautiful person that you are, and your soul's truest desires, like, and a lot of times the truest desires are just wanting to be loved and to love. So yeah, you're definitely being called into that. I'm going to pull some cards from the Radiant Wilds and see what else comes through. Yeah, resistance. This doesn't want to shuffle. I think, like, for some reason, this knowing card here with the mind, it's like when you reconnect with yourself and just who you truly are, what you really want out of life. And like when you reconnect to that, you come to this inner knowing that this is a desire that was placed in your heart by the divine, by something greater than you. And so you're protected in the pursuit of the realization of this desire, and I do think it has a lot to do with like intimacy and connection and being seen for like who you are and your community and your family. And yes, getting reacquainted with yourself and those desires and in the light of the divine, and praying about it or whatever works for you or makes sense to you, but shining that light on it, shining that light on your heart, and just being reminded that you're supported in that dream and that desire, and you will be guided into it, and you will be safe to walk towards it. And so having like holding the hand of the divine as you walk towards that is going to give you the peace you need and the feelings of protections and safety that you need to go for it. So that's beautiful. Oh, Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I just wanted to show you that. That is a new beginning, a new beginning that changes like in the material, like something's changing in your life, and we do have new opportunities here. So yeah. And oak, I like that it's the hair in the oak. Like an oak tree is very strong, stable, grounded, solid, reliable. So it just feels like there's something for you that is going to feel that way. Nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. No, look at that. Oh my God. That's crazy. The Ace of Pentacles. I think I'm just going to leave it at that, honestly. I've pulled enough tarot. Like, that's wild. Okay, you have a brand new beginning ahead of you that is like change, like material change. And that doesn't have to necessarily mean, money or like property or, something like inanimate. It feels like a dream on your heart that is more so connected to relationships, that change that you want to see in the material, like a person coming into your life, or a reconciliation with a person, or like a healed wound between you and a loved one, or like a deeper sense of intimacy with your partner. Like whatever it is that has to do with relationships, you'll be able to physically, I mean, of course, it's an emotional realm too, but like you'll be able to see it. Like the change will be tangible. You'll be able to experience it and witness and see it and live that new reality. It's real. It's possible. It's like there's a reminder here that what you want is truly, truly possible. It is literally the door that is right in front of you that you're meant to open, that you've just been ignoring for a while because you've been focused on this other thing. But what's going to bring you true fulfillment and true joy is this emotional contentment, this connection, and this intimacy. So open up to it and know that it's real. It's absolutely real. And it's meant to be yours and meant to be a fixture of your life, and you're so ready for it. You've been ready for it. I think you've been putting it off because you think you're not ready for it. But yeah, you're ready for this change. Okay, is there anything else that wants to be said here? I don't know. I feel like I've pulled cards from all my decks, and just be ready for this new beginning because it's knocking at your door right now. And you've just been blind to it. I don't even think you've been ignoring it. You've just been so like consumed with whatever else you're working on in your life or that you're walking towards that you've completely blocked out like the opportunities that are literally at your doorstep right now. You're like, all you have to do is open the door. So I think this retreating that you're meant to do is going to help you realign and realize and actually awaken to these opportunities. See them for what they are. Like this knowing card. It's like you can finally see, it's like you're finally aware of what you're the door you're standing at. It comes to you. You understand it. Like, oh, okay, we're here. We're absolutely here. And it's time. Like, oh my God. Let's do this. Like, yeah. Yeah, this Mother of Swords and this Father of Swords, it's like this stern, like, correction coming in. Like, get your shit together. All your dreams and your heart's desires are at your doorstep. Like, align to that. Like, you're about ready to open the door to all you've ever wanted. Like, it's like, how could you not see this? Yeah, okay. I think that's it. Like, I feel like I've sufficiently, like, hopefully whipped you into reality here of what awaits you. So I think this is it, group number 2. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I am honored by your presence, and I hope I see you in another reading. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick-a-flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. I sometimes offer personal readings, so be on the lookout for open slots for those as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower. If you have never been to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, my prompt is surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. And you chose the purple Loosestrife, which I picked right near where I'm staying in New Brunswick in Canada. It is a beautiful purple flower that is blooming all over right now. It symbolizes forgiveness and a peace offering. And I just want to mention, right as I shifted into the energy of group number 3, a joy and a levity came through, and I got all giggly, and there's like this effervescent energy, and just really beautiful. I'm really excited to channel whatever's coming through here. I think a lot of your purpose is to experience joy and levity. So maybe if some of you are coming from group number 3, this would be the energy you're meant to step into next. Like, because it felt like there was a lot of messages of like, it was like a little like whoosh, like whipping someone into reality. Like, hey, like open the door to your joy. Like it's right in front of you. And you know, group number 2 is more existing in this heavier energy when they didn't have to, kind of thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get into, oh wait, first I have to give the purple Loosestrife, which, oh, I think that's symbolic too. Loosestrife, it's like lose strife, like let go of strife. So definitely makes sense here. Let's see if the purple Loosestrife has anything to say to you. You have anything to say to group number 3? Watch a funny movie. A stoner movie? Why am I that's funny. I wonder what's going on with this plant. Maybe you can smoke it or something. I don't know. There's just some weird energy. It feels just, you're meant to just let go and have fun and enjoy. Like watch a funny movie. Like just do something for the sake of, like, be dumb just to be dumb. Be goofy. Like that's the energy. Anything else, Loosestrife? I think it was just like, no, just watch a funny movie. Watch like a stoner movie. Okay. So let's actually put this up here. And I pulled a card for your overarching theme from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. And I am going to read from the guidebook for this. You got, shut the fuck up. No. Oh my God. I swear to God, I did not look at these cards. I swear. Dude. Cannabis. Number 31 with detachment. I am fucking mind blown right now. Like, okay, just because I did feel high in that moment. Like, watch a stoner movie, laugh and giggle about stupid stuff. Maybe, I mean, I'm not endorsing, you know, of course, anything, but if you feel called to, maybe you want to, you know, dabble in a little cannabis. But yeah, number 31 reduces to 4, which is a very secure number. It's like the most, it's about security and groundedness, rootedness, stability. So some of you may need to be told, like, it is safe to use a little bit of cannabis. I hate saying this. I wouldn't typically say this, but if this doesn't resonate, please just leave it. But maybe for a few of you, it's like, it's okay to loosen up a little bit, you know. That's the vibe. Like, you are safe to loosen up and just enjoy. So, okay, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Woodland Wardens and see what else comes through. Okay, so we're talking about purpose here. Surrendering to a higher power. I like that the first thing that came through after talking about that prompt, after saying that prompt, like surrendering to a higher power, aligning to your purpose is this like stonery energy, this like goofy, weird, like light energy. You wouldn't think that'd be in a purpose reading, but I think there's a place like in life and living out one's purpose in the human trajectory. Like there's a place for everything, you know, like there's a place for just goofiness and dumbness and just like with detachment. I kind of like that. It's almost like detaching from the heaviness and the weight of things. Like, especially if we are doing something very purposeful, a lot of times it can be heavy because you are confronting a change that needs to happen in the world. So that's heavy sometimes. So yeah, I think counterbalancing that with a sense of detachment and entering into these spaces of levity will really be like healthy coping mechanisms in ways for you. Of course, you know, with anything in moderation, there can be an imbalance sometimes of too much detachment and trying and like leading into escapism. But I don't think that's the message that came through for you. I think it's like, you're safe. You're safe to let go and just be joyful and goofy and weird. don't got to hold on to everything all the time. So we have, and we have a rooster. We have the rooster and the sunflower. I love that, with communication. Okay. And we have the frog and the lotus with metamorphosis. Pull a couple cards from the Earth Magic Oracle. Oh, I forgot to read the cannabis from the guidebook. We're going to do that real quick. It's in the Herbs of Saturn section here. Upright. Detachment, deep contemplation, freedom from the pain body, inner calm, and immunity. In reversed, it's numb, dissociation, neglect, chronic pain, not seeing a way out, trapped, unsettled. The astrological ruler for cannabis is, rulers are Saturn and Neptune. I find them very interesting. That's an interesting duality. I feel like Saturn is more stern and strict, and Neptune is more flowy and free as far as their energies go. So, okay, here we go. Cannabis is one of the oldest known psychotropic herbs. The first recorded use of cannabis is from 8000 BC in an ancient village in Taiwan, where indigenous groups used hemp fibers in their fabrics, pottery, rope, and even their shoes, not relying on animal skins or even silk for clothing. In 4000 BC, in the Chinese village of Panpo, hemp was considered to be one of the 5 grains, the quote, five grains of China, and thus a major food crop. In the Chinese Materia Medica from 2737 BC, hemp was recognized for its ability to treat over 100 medical issues, including gout, malaria, and rheumatism. The medicinal use of marijuana features heavily in Hindu religious texts. In the Vedas, for example, written between 2000 BC and 1400 BC, cannabis was considered a sacrament of Shiva, described as a source of happiness, a joy giver, and a bringer of freedom that was compassionately given to humans by the gods to relieve them of anxiety and help them achieve delight as well as fearlessness. Ooh. Cannabis's many uses fall mostly under Saturn and Neptune's rulership, with a strong Piscean undertone. Since it is a musculoskeletal relaxant, anti-inflammatory, and pain reliever, it is a great ally for those seeking to soften the rough edges of Saturn's impact. Its mood-enhancing, anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, and psychotropic properties belong to the realms of Neptune, and therefore Pisces. Guidance. Saturn is said to be the lord of time and space, the lord of karma. Although often called the Great Malefic, Saturn is much more than what we experience in third-dimensional reality. The space-time continuum is a system that encompasses third-dimensional reality as we know it, said to be ruled by Saturn. Yet the transcendence of this reality is freedom from Saturn, depicted by its polarity, Neptune. When the angels of time and space are respected, in parentheses Saturn, they bless us with freedom and the ability to transcend, or Neptune, the cycles of the pain body. Wow, I love that. Like if we're resisting the pain body, and we're like, in my head, that's like disrespecting it in a way. It's like you can't transcend it, but when you respect it and you honor it, it's only then that you can transcend it. If you feel restless, anxious, trapped in your own body, or have trouble sleeping, cannabis is here to remind you to cultivate inner calm. Breathe deeply, go for a walk in nature, immerse yourself in meditation, take naps, and creatively cultivate practices that soften the unsettled aspects of your being. Don't succumb to quick fix solutions when it comes to decompressing, as it often leads to self-neglect and disassociation. Tune deeply into the energies of this ancient ally and learn to transcend the cycles of self-induced pain. What a friend to humanity cannabis is. I really like reading that. Just, it's ancient and powerful and protective. I'm really grateful that we have that plant on our planet. But anyway, let's go ahead and yes, pull some cards. By the way, I'm not a big cannabis smoker. I may sound like it, I'm totally promoting cannabis so much in this reading. I used to be, not so much anymore, but I liked the idea. I liked when it was talking about softening the edges of Saturn. I'm a Capricorn. Saturn is my ruler. And the influence of Saturn has been pretty like rough, I think, in my life. And I like the idea of, yeah, like softening those edges. And I also like the message that there are no quick fixes. Like, carefully cultivate those softening practices, like the meditation, taking naps, like slowing down kind of thing, like walking in nature, like cultivate that into your life over time to soften those edges. So I like that as well. Obviously, like not everyone would want to smoke weed, and that can get out of balance, but like there is a way to soften those edges. I love that, like over time. And I think like when we do commit to softening those edges over time, we can integrate it more and shift our lifestyle more and shift our nervous system to align to the softer energy, and it can be more integrated and last longer and be more like secured in our being if we do it that way. There's no quick fix, and that's okay. We're not here to just be, joyful all the time. Like sometimes life is tough and sometimes we go through phases of toughness, but there's a feeling of moving into joy here and slowly and steadily like cultivating that and just looking at the bigger picture of things and knowing it'll take time sometimes. Okay. Ooh, nice. We have fire with passion. And ooh, fire and air element. Wind with activation. Passion and activation. Okay. That's definitely interesting. To get up and move. I literally am getting up right now to move. Like, that's the energy. Like, get up, move. All right, I had to get up and like move around a bit. Need some movement in your life. Whew, like dance. Like maybe you feel called to move, to dance. That's kind of what I felt like doing. So interesting. Like, yeah, just flow, dance. I don't even want to, it's like I can't even put it into words. Just enter into flow. Enter into like nonsense. That's the vibe. Okay, I'm going to pull, let's see, some cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. So with the wind activation over here, it feels like when the way I just got up and then I started moving and I started like, it does feel like psychedelic energy coming through, and like there's like this dancey energy, and it's kind of moving through my solar plexus and my sacral, and it feels like we're letting the wind blow us where we are meant to go, and we are riding a wave of like joy and bliss. We're riding a wave of like what's the word, psychedelic flow. That's what's coming through. It's like psychedelic flow, and I think movement will really help with that. Like dance will really help with that. But that is the wind. That is the air, like the breeze that's gonna like blow us exactly where we need to be, like a feather on the wind. We're just letting ourselves be taken away into it. And then with the fire element being there with passion, I'm almost feeling the energy moving up through our like through the heart space, and there's a sense of freedom, a recognition that freedom is a birthright and it's worth fighting for. This is an interesting message because it's like this psychedelic flow, this entering into flow and color and like the unknown is going to guide you into your passion to make the world better and fight for people's freedoms, like fight for freedom itself. What kind of freedom? That's what I'm curious about. Like, what do you mean by freedom? Like, that's my question. I'm going to pull freedom from limitation. I mean, we have the Five of Pentacles here, and that's about lack and limitation. And, the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is about not seeing something that's right in front of you. I'll pull one more for this. Oh, it's Six of Cups. Okay. I'm feeling like very hippie vibes. Like I'm seeing like a VW bus. I'm listening to the Beatles. Like just hippie flow, like Woodstock vibes right now. This is interesting. This has never happened in a reading. I heard the word remembrance, freedom, remembrance, love. There's truth in the spiritual and kind of like psychedelic revolution that happened in the 60s and 70s. Like there's this feeling of an awakening that swept through humanity during that time, of our connectedness to each other, our sense of oneness with one another, the funkiness and the weirdness of being human, the ride I'm hearing like allowed to go on, like we're allowed to be taken on this ride. Like it's okay to exist in freedom. It's okay to exist in love. Of course, our like humanity still existed in a pain body through that time, and I think a lot of people got stuck in that energy of that awakening, and a lot of people did a lot of drugs and I think that messed with people's psyches. So I think there were some imbalances and downsides, but I think ultimately the consciousness of it was true. We are meant to live in that awareness of our oneness and that love and that sense of freedom with one another. And so where are we going with this? This is interesting. And while the hippies were like humanitarians, they were activists. There could be something here about activism. Sorry, this is kind of a tricky one. I'm going to keep pulling tarot. Maybe it'll give me some more clarity. Queen of Cups or Mother of Cups. We have the Moon, which makes sense. And like with the Four of Cups, like something you're not seeing. The Moon is this enigmatic, like kind of murky energy sometimes. So interesting. Knight of Cups or Son of Cups. Ooh, Son of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and one more. Five of Wands. Okay. Six of Cups can be about like the past and reminiscing on the past. There's this feeling of getting lost in the past, or like putting the past on a pedestal, or like idolizing the past. Like what happened in the past, like looking back and being like, that was like idealizing it. Like that was perfect. I wish things could go back to the way it was. And it's almost like a part of you from the past that you're idealizing. You are looking at it as something that's separate from you, when this part of you still remains in your heart as a part of who you are, and you've separated yourself from it. You are still that person. And it is an integral part of your mission and your purpose in this life to be connected to that part of you. So there's this feeling of returning home, or allowing that part of you to return home to your heart. Part of your soul that you've like memorialized in a way, and you've like put it on like this altar of your being, like this thing to be not worshipped. I don't think it's more like looked on with love and adoration, but also like longing. And it's just an interesting thing because it's there's no reason for the longing. Like this is actually a part of you that you have access to. That's still a part of who you are. The stances surrounding it, of course, have changed, but not the soul quality. So what you're doing moving forward is bringing that back into your being. And there's a message here that you cannot fulfill your mission and your purpose in your life if you have not integrated this part of you. So this is actually a very important step and you walking forward in what you're meant to do. I know maybe not all of you will resonate with all of the trippy dippy energy that was coming forth, but there is that like inherent sense of freedom. I mean, maybe some of you have never accessed this part of yourself. That sense of freedom of self, sense of freedom of color and full self-expression, like sense of freedom to love, just love who you love and love what you love, just to love in general, love humanity, like just to be fully expressed in your love. Maybe there's a sense of like feeling like you've lost that ability, or that things have changed and you're not able to do it anymore. But again, you're allowed to exist in this energy. Something has told you that you're not allowed to be that person when that is the person we need you to be. We need your colorful, nurturing, loving energy to be fully expressed. With the Son of Cups here and the Son of Pentacles, I'm seeing a swan looking this way to the right and a deer looking to the left. And it's almost like they've turned their backs on each other. Knight of Pentacles is more earth element. It is a really slow energy. It's like making me think of like the way things are done on earth. And then the Son of Cups or the Knight of Cups is more of this romantic, fanciful energy. And it's almost like they're at odds here and they're not reconciled. And you're meant to reconcile those two energies. Like you can still be this person and still be connected to the earth plane and get things done on the earth plane, however long it takes, or, you know, we need you embodied in that beauty every step of the way. Embodied in your love every step of the way. Embodied in your weirdness, in your intuition. We need you there in that place. The world needs you there in that place. I just heard like, what are we going to do without you? What are we going to do without that part of you? It's like integral. It's necessary. And like with the Four of Cups here, and there's like a mouse or a rat on the card. Mice are symbolic of, I mean, in this case, it's like something small that kind of hides and runs, and it's like a meekness, and you're not seeing the importance of you being embodied in your loving energy, your colorful energy. I don't know how else to express it. Like your weirdness, your uniqueness, you being embodied in that, in your full expression with, I mean, it is love. What it is it is love. And you being able to just be in that and express that in the world around you, and in your relationships and your acquaintances and wherever you go. It's integral to your joy, to your ability to walk a path that matters to you and to the world, that matters at all. We are missing you, like the Five of Pentacles. We are missing this side of you. We need you here. Bring her back on board, this part of you. I actually want to ask now, like I want to pull a card from the Vibrational Energy Oracle, because it's like, okay, well, how? Like, how are we bringing this part of, like, how are you bringing this part of yourself back on board? Like, what's the path to get there? Oh, we have the frog with metamorphosis. And the lotus, that makes sense. That's, the lotus is symbolic of like, kind of like the muck you have to go through to find the beauty. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's some sort of shadow you're meant to walk through to recover. I mean, it makes sense with the moon, like to recover this element of yourself, like shadow work. Yeah. Okay, so we have, interesting, snowflakes. Maybe the winter season will be a good time for you to recover this part of yourself. Or even with the snowflakes is making me think of something that's isolated, kind of frozen in time, and you're like, you need to melt it and bring it back to life. Yeah, it kind of does make sense though. that way, because snowflakes is ice, and then we have the Mother of Cups over here, which is a watery energy, and the Moon, which is a very watery energy. A lot of Cups cards here, actually. That's meant to melt, like a part of you that's been frozen, and I think it's like it's just been waiting for you to send it love and warm it up and let it melt and fold and bend and release into the fabric of who you are, and let it gradually awaken. And like I'm seeing like this beautiful energy. It's just like, again, with the psychedelic, like I'm seeing like these like psychedelic flowers coming out and like flowing through your heart space and just like exploding out, but like in a easeful way. And yeah, there's something there. There's definitely something there where we're melting the ice, and it feels like in the heart space, we're melting the ice around this part of yourself and letting it flow through, and being brave enough to let it be seen, expressed, because it is just love and people need it. So, wow, that's really beautiful. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Radiant Wilds Tarot and see what else comes through. So basically, okay, let's tap back into the prompt. So surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. I think it's just love. Of course we have many purposes, and you may have been drawn to other readings or other groups in this reading to see if there's something else, going on. But I feel like this is like, in addition to deeper purposes, not that, oh my gosh, see, I'm totally diminishing what this is. That's the thing. Like, this is the deeper purpose. Love is the deeper purpose. And it's like with the hippie vibe and like thinking about back then when that awakening was true, like love is the purpose. Love is the point of everything. That is the deepest purpose that you could ever embody in your life. That is the most transformative purpose that you could ever embody in your life, is simply just love and loving others and loving yourself and loving the world. Everything starts from there. Your passion and your activation to do something about the state of the world, to do something about the places where love is lacking, comes from a place, first and foremost, of simple and pure love. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups. It's walking away from what no longer serves. Another Cups card. Ooh, the Hermit. Interesting. Okay. Hermit's about soul searching. Okay. Maybe this winter. I don't know. I'm thinking of winter a lot with the snowflakes. Could be a good time to be a hermit, to go into hermit mode and really do some of that soul searching, like do some of whatever it is, the shadow work that you need to do to get to this place, to remind yourself of who you truly are. It doesn't even feel like shadow work though. That's the thing. Like, that energy that was coming through was really beautiful and really light, and it just felt so effortless. And earlier it felt like I wanted to move, I wanted to dance. So that could be something that activates this part of you if you just let yourself go into that free flowing music and dancey energy. Yeah. Doing things for the sake of doing them. Again, circling back to the beginning message of like, watch a funny movie, just do something dumb and stupid just for fun. If it's harmless, then just do it. Detach from the heaviness of life and connect to that playful side of you. Yeah. I feel like I want one more card, but I don't know what deck I want to pull from. I think I will pull from this Vibrational Energy Oracle, another one. Yeah, like good riddance. Like right before I pulled these cards, I thought, well, what was the phrase that came to my mind? It was like it just felt like we're done with that. Good riddance. Good night. Like, we're done. It's over. Like, thank God. Like, it just felt like, ugh, I am done experiencing life in that way. I'm done being rigid, or I'm done seeing everything in a dark way, or I'm done, like Like, where did my love go? Where did my levity go? Like, that's still who I am. And I'm reclaiming that. I have that right, to reclaim that part of myself. No one can take that away from me. The world can't take that away from me. No, like, self-imposed rules or societally imposed rules can take that away from me. I have the freedom to reclaim that part of myself. Okay. And then, we have a bird and an open cage. Like the bird, it's kind of weird though. Obviously the bird is free and the bird is carrying, it's like they got free from the cage, and the word openness is here. I thought I mentioned that. But they got free from the cage, but now they're carrying their cage somewhere. Like, what's that about? I find that interesting. They're not running away from the cage. They're carrying the cage. Are we not done with the cage? Is there a rightful place for the cage to be? Is the cage meant to be for something else or someone else? Like, why is this bird still carrying this cage and taking it somewhere? Oh, you know what this almost looks like? It's like the bird has freed itself from the cage, and like with this little sphere at the bottom, here, I'll show you in case you want to see it. With this little sphere at the bottom, that feels like the earth, and it feels like the bird is revealing the cage to the people on the earth. Like, this is basically, if we're putting it in terms of you, this is you breaking free from your cage and showing others. Literally, you have to show others that they are in a cage before they have to wake up to the reality of the cage before they can break free of it. So this is you spreading the word that people are existing in self-imposed or societally imposed cages, and they're allowed to break out of it. Like, look, I broke out of the cage. Now you can too. So this could be part of your purpose, like waking people up to these boxes that we've placed ourselves in, these limitations we've heeded to out of fear, out of lack, out of like just karma and things we've carried forward from our family, our ancestors, our lineage. This is you broke free, and now you're able to help others do the same. That's beautiful. Freedom is like something you're meant to spread on this planet. That's beautiful. Okay. Is that it? Is there anything else? Let's see. Yeah, love and freedom. Those are your highest ideals. I would argue love comes first, but freedom is a very close second. And keep walking towards your own freedom. Reclaim this free part of yourself. She is going to help you break free in your own life in so many ways. And we need you. We need you in your truest essence. Thank you for being you. Alrighty, thank you so much, group number 3. I am honored by your presence, and I hope I see you in another reading. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick-a-flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. I sometimes offer personal readings, so be on the lookout for open slots for those as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. And I want to mention, as soon as I started in on this reading, the bugs came in. We've got like a little, like there aren't a lot of bugs here. I mean, I bring in flowers from outside, and sometimes I'll bring in like a couple little baby bugs. But all of a sudden, like there were like 3 bugs. There's one literally on this card right here, and there was a flying one. There was another one crawling. So there's something there. I love bugs for the most part. Sometimes they're annoying, of course, but I have a kinship with bugs. I think they're beautiful and interesting, and especially moths. And I like beetles. I think they're super cool. I really think they just have like a really cool, they're kind of like alien-like, and I really love that about them. It's like little aliens on planet Earth. And then I'm thinking of like a really big grasshopper, praying mantises. Like those things are trippy. Like think about it. Those are insane. But I do feel like they have like these, like with their antennae, and like I feel like they're connected to like another realm, like their own little plane of existence, and it feels, again, alien-like. So I don't know what that has to do with what's going on in this reading, but we shall see. So you chose the common Tansy. So it symbolizes protection, resilience, and immortality. Okay, so I want to show you this little guy, and I'm going to ask this Tansy, do you have any messages for group number 4? I wonder if this is a fern. The leaves look like fern-like. Anyway, yes, do you have any messages for group number 4? Common Tansy? Oh, did I mention? Oh my gosh, I don't think I mentioned the prompt for this reading is surrender to a higher power, a message to guide you into the center of your soul's purpose. Okay, now we're going to get our message from the common Tansy. I just heard, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. This could be a message from a loved one, but you're so loved. You're so loved. You're so deeply lovable. There are so many people who take delight in your presence, in spirit and on earth. You are a joy to be around. You are loved beyond measure. You definitely don't know how loved you are, and that's okay. But the more you open up to the love that surrounds you, the more you'll feel loved. So there is a message here to open up to more love. You could feel more loved because you are more loved than you feel that you are. So I hope that made sense. Like, all you have to do is open up to it, let it in, let it deepen into your being, and you're allowed to feel loved and held sacred and honored by the world and the people around you, because you are held sacred and honored and loved by the world and people around you. So let that shit in. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just get into your reading. So I pulled a card from the Herbal Astrology Oracle to be an overarching theme for you. And ooh, this is beautiful. How have I never seen this card? Number 51 with Dragon's Blood. Anima Mundi. I don't know what that means, but we are reading the guidebook for all 4 readings with these cards in particular. I'm just going to get right into that guidebook because I'm not getting much from the card itself because I don't know what Anima Mundi means. Okay, it is in the herbs of the asteroids category. Cool, asteroids. I like that. Never mind. All of the planetary bodies would make me think of aliens. So sorry, it's getting late and I'm just a little, okay, let's just get into it. So number 51, Dragon's Blood, Anima Mundi, upright, oneness, merging with the divine, access to the world soul, occult knowledge, initiation, universal donor, entry into the great void. Reversed is lost in the unknown, dark magic, overwhelm, inner conflict, or block spiritual sight. The astrological rulers of the Dragon's Blood are the Black Moon Lilith and Pluto. So that's actually pretty intense energies. Wow, this feels like shadow work, but it's almost like shadow work that transforms you into someone who can effortlessly merge with the whole. Like there's this feeling of, like with the oneness, the work you're doing in your internal being, no matter how difficult it may be, is leading you to a sense of oneness, which is necessary for you to create a beautiful ripple effect in the collective consciousness, collective heart of humanity. Okay, so also known as Sangre de Drago or Sangre de Grado in Amazonia and South America, this plant has a long history of indigenous use in the rainforest. The sap itself looks just like blood, la sangre, and it was often painted on wounds to promote healing and seal them to prevent infection, as well as taken internally to prevent or stop internal bleeding. Indigenous peoples have used it in a myriad of ways, externally for wounds, fractures, hemorrhages, hemorrhoids, and skin disorders, internally for acid reflux, ulcers, and colitis, and as an antiviral. This crucial and life-saving medicine was and still is a staple for thousands of tribal peoples. Physically, dragon's blood is the epitome of Plutonian and Scorpionic energy, as both archetypally rule the symbol of blood. Shamans have used dragon's blood in spell work, rituals of protection, purification, and consecration. In Christian art, the dragon was symbolic of evil and sin, yet many other traditions hold that serpent deities like dragons are benevolent, sharp-eyed dwellers that hold the mystery of the great void. Guidance. Dragons are ancient guardians of the earth, symbolizing hidden knowledge and auspicious powers of supernatural origin. Dragons are etheric beings that inhabit the deepest pockets of the ethers and have dominion over the four elements. Dragon's blood core oozes blood, representing the collective blood, the blood of nature, and serving as a gateway to the anima mundi, the world soul. As you enter the all-seeing portal of the great void, don't shy away from its vastness. Embrace it as you are undergoing this great initiation. Within this awakening, you will discover the unique pattern you contribute to the great tapestry of life. Okay, so the energy here is one of shadow. It's almost like with it talking about the void, and like it's saying don't fear the void, because this is kind of like the initiation to enter into this sense of oneness that is a part of your soul's purpose and mission. So you could be going through an intense shift right now that feels scary or feels overwhelming or feels confusing, but there's a feeling of allowing here, like just allowing the shift to take place, allowing the absurdity or the strangeness or whatever it may be that you're confronted with that you may be inclined to resist or you may be inclined to fear or run from. Just allow it. Just allow it to be. Allow it to exist within and around you, whatever it presents itself as. Allow it to be and simply observe. Stay connected to your true north. Stay connected to your light. Stay connected to your divine nature. And just simply observe and know that you are the light. You are the good. And no matter what happens in this transformation, this transition, this initiation, you will remain intact in your whole essence, in your true essence, even more deeply connected to the essence of the whole, that which you come from, that which you will return to, that which you are a part of, and that you can't live without. So beautiful, beautiful. Yes, you're going through a powerful initiation right now. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a couple cards from the Woodland Wardens and see what else comes through. Yeah, this going into this reading feels like going into a void. And it does happen to be very late right now where I'm at. I started this reading quite late. So I feel like I'm almost like in between, which I'm awake. I'm fine. I stay up late all the time. But in particular, like channeling these messages feels like I'm in between, like an awake and a sleep state in a way. And like in this twilight. So maybe life feels like that a little bit right now for you, and that's okay, you know, like entering into a little bit of darkness, a little bit of light, kind of murkiness, like that's okay. You're exactly where you're meant to be right now. That's the feeling. Okay, so we have the deer and oat with healing. And then we have the ladybug and sweet pea with happiness. There's such like an innocence coming through, an inner child. Even like I'm thinking of a baby, like your infant self, is that energy is kind of coming through. You are being held in this transformation with so much tenderness and with so much love. The most innocent, the most pure part of you is safely protected, safely held, nourished, feels loved, feels taken care of, isn't lacking nothing. You are safe. All is well. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Continue on this journey and trust in the flow where it's taking you. This is a time where you're meant to be very gentle with yourself and like be so gentle with yourself and so protective of yourself and honoring of yourself, as if like just the way we are so protective and gentle with a child or a baby. Like it's like there's a part of you that requires that energy right now. So find it in you to be that nurturer. That's the energy you need to walk through this initiation. And with the word healing being here, with the deer and the oat. And I love that it's a deer. Deers are so gentle and sweet, and I'm kind of like you have to be really still with deer. You know, they're very skittish, and like you just have to be very calm and still and aware and nurturing. And there is a part of you that is being integrated that needs this type of energy out of you. Like you can't force it. It will be like this slow embodiment, this slow remembrance, this slow welcoming of this part of your soul back into your body and your being. So you have created the circumstances, the energetic circumstances, a sense of safety and protection for this beautiful, pure, sacred part of yourself to be welcomed back into your being. I don't really know why I say welcomed back. Maybe it was like through, pain or trauma. It could be some part of ourselves we've kind of held hidden away in like a corner of our being to keep safe, that kind of happens with trauma. Parts of ourselves break away and find a place in like the corner of our psyche to hide and remain safe. But the beautiful news that is coming to you is that you've done the work and you've created the sacred, safe place for this part of you to return. So let it return. Yeah. Okay, and let's see. We have fairies with earth magic. Ooh, fire with passion. That is not what I expected to see. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm just going to dive right into the tarot now. Oh, the energy kind of shifted. Okay, cool. That was interesting. I think like it's almost like once you integrate this part of yourself back into your being, then it was like whoosh, this like passion and this fire came through. And like a recognition of your fire nature. That's interesting. It's almost like you needed to go through this initiation, this change, and this welcoming of this sacred part of you back so that you can fully embody your passion, fully embody whatever it is that lights you up and that ignites you and that drives you. Okay. So we have the Six of Cups, which makes perfect sense. The Six of Cups is about childhood, about your past, your inner child. So yeah, you're totally integrating that part of yourself right now. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay, this is giving me family vibes. So I wonder if, this could even for some of you be like the work that you've done internally to create a sacred place for like an actual baby, like an actual conception or birth of a pure, beautiful baby into your life. That could be for some of you. But ultimately, I think symbolically, it feels like more of a part of yourself in your past. And Ten of Pentacles is this, I mean, it is a safe hearth for a family to reside. You know, it's like the home, it's like an estate. It's like it's the energy of complete provision, complete safety and protection. There's like, I'm just feeling the energy of you feeling safe and stable and calm and rooted in your own innocence and your own light and your own sense of knowing who you are and feeling safe to fully be all of who you are. It is the energy of, someone who grew up having all of their needs met, their physical needs, their material needs, their emotional needs, like everything, their mental needs, like their, I'm thinking of like their creative needs, like their like mental stimulation, everything, the love they needed, the honor they deserved, like this is the energy of someone who grew up with all of that and was nourished and nurtured so that they could grow up and be a solid and stable, beautiful foundation to raise more people like that. And so I feel like with you integrating this energy, you're walking into the energy of someone who is stable like that. Like even if you didn't grow up with that upbringing, you will be in an energy that feels as if you did in a way. Still bearing and holding the fact that you didn't and knowing what you had to walk through to heal all of that. But feeling safe, grounded, nurtured, and whole, like integrated, will like my point, I guess, is it will feel like the norm. It will feel like, oh, this is how it's always been. Like this is how it's meant to be. This is how it's always been meant to be, and I am safe. I've always been safe. It's just like life experiences, made me feel otherwise. But ultimately, once I'm more integrated and I've collected all these pieces of my soul that kind of fragmented themselves, we're back together and we're whole again with more wisdom, of course, with more awareness that we exist on an earth plane that's imperfect and that we want to do everything we can to make sure other people don't have to go through what we had to go through, of course, holding on to that wisdom, but still, again, residing in safety and calmness and wholeness, and that being the norm, and creating that frequency in the collective consciousness for other people to tap into and join. Beautiful. Whew. Okay, we have the Moon. These two cards came out in group number 3. Moon and the Queen of Cups, very nurturing, motherly energies. Yeah, beautiful. Let's see what else. We're going to mix it up a little better. Here we go. Oh. Ah, they don't want to come out. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, I love this. We have the Two of Cups and the Lovers. I see you in a really healthy, harmonious, balanced, nurturing relationship that heals you ultimately, that heals you. This could be one reason why you have found yourself in that place of stability and strength and safety being the norm. It could be two people who come together and teach each other how to feel safe. So that's the feeling. Yeah, it's soulmate energy, it's love energy, it's coming together and knowing how to love the other person effortlessly, and not even really knowing it, but just instinctually being it, being the love that they need, and vice versa. Like, this is a very harmonious, balanced, healing relationship. You could be in it now, it could be coming, but this is ultimately the destiny of your soul, and it's a vehicle for healing for you. So if you feel not ready for something like this, that's not true, because actually the very relationship itself is meant to heal you. So you're meant to show up to it unhealed in some ways. Okay, what else? Let's see. Ooh, we have the Six of Wands. Whoa, that's interesting. Six of Wands is about being seen in your light. My personal interpretation of it is embodying your authentic nature and being loved for exactly who you are, being held and honored by the world around you because of who you are. It's not just about like the fame or the, a lot of like interpretations interpret it as like fame or just like acknowledgement or being put on a pedestal and seen highly regarded. Like, this isn't even about that. This is you being fully yourself and fully expressed in who you are, and the world, like, you receiving love in that place because it's authentic, and you being uplifted by the world around you because they see how beautiful you are and the gifts that you hold, and they want to uplift that because they recognize it as necessary and needed to be put up, like, I don't want to say put on a pedestal, but it's making me think of that Bible verse where I don't know the exact phrasing of it, but it's something about like not putting your light under a bushel, like shining your light. Like, your light's meant to be shone, and other people are going to help you shine that light because they recognize the value in it. Okay, and then Seven of Cups. That is an energy of, it's a dreamy energy. It's an energy of options. God, I feel like the bug energy is really prevalent. I keep thinking there's a bug on me. Again, we had that bug energy. Somehow that might circle around to something here. We do have a butterfly. That's a bug. But and then we have the ladybug here. I didn't even think about that. Seven of Cups. Okay, it's 2 a.m. I was scared to look at the clock and see that it was 3 a.m. I was like, oh my God, that's a little late. No, it's only 2 a.m. That's cool. But yeah, let's see. Oh, we have 3 6s here. That's interesting. Some Christians, they think 666. I mean, it's in the Bible, I guess. It talks about 666, and but I don't really take heed to that. 666 to me represents the physical world and like the limitations of the physical world in a way. But there's like holiness in that. There's holiness in our limitations. I'm gonna pull a card from this vibrational energy oracle and see. I'm kind of hitting like a weird pause right now. There's like a weird silence. The Seven of Cups, though, that's, if anything, that's speaking to me. We have a moon and a sun. And then again, the Seven of Cups it can be about confusion. It can be, Okay, I have 2 wild and free wind sprite. Okay. And then clean sweep. Well, wind does make me, like, wind can be very clarifying and purifying, like cleansing, like sweeping away what's not serving. And then I want 1 card from the Radiant Wilds. And then I think there's one last message here. It's just not coming together. The puzzle pieces aren't here yet. Need 1 more card. Here it is. 2 of Wands. Okay, interesting. We're kind of like, whoop, going on a new direction here. Okay. Whew, I had to just like get up and like shake off like energy. Whew, like just like, yeah, clean sweep. Like, whew, just clear this out. Okay. So yeah, there's this feeling of like all of everything I was processing and talking through in the beginning of this reading, and the initiation energy and the intensity around that, and the darkness of that, like not in a negative way, but like you know, the heaviness, like not even heavy, it just maybe like I will say the darkness in a way though, like it did feel dark, you know, and maybe that's you've been like walking through some darkness, and like it feels like a willing walking though, like it's a necessary walking for this soul retrieval. But just now when I went up and I had to shake everything out, and it felt like, and then I came to this reading, and 2 of Wands is about looking forward, like making plans for the future, and it almost feels emotional. It's like, wow, like that chapter really is behind me, but gosh, there's such gratitude here though. Like it's not even like I'm like feeling any negative way towards the past, you know. It's like a feeling of wow, that was interesting. That was an interesting part of my journey. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so honored that I got to go on that journey, and there's this feeling of now we can move forward. I can move forward now because all of me is here, and I'm feeling with this union, this partnership energy. You're moving forward, and you're making plans with a person, you know, this with another person as opposed to on your own. So I think there's just a feeling of I'm so grateful that overall, like I had to go through that to get to where I am now, and I couldn't be more grateful for where I am now. So I don't regret a single thing, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. There's such a reconciliation of the past here, and there's such a calmness, and it's just a door wide open kind of energy. A freedom and a hopefulness and an acceptance for where your life is going, and just a knowing and like a gratitude and acceptance that no matter what happens from here on out, I know I'm going to exist in gratitude and fullness. I can feel it. I know it. Like any confusion of the past is gone. And I know that I'm right where I'm meant to be. And I feel as though moving forward, I'll be able to maintain this feeling and this knowing. It's like what I went through. What I went through made me come to this conclusion. The sense of safety, the sense of harmony, gratitude, purpose. Yeah. So I guess that's a really beautiful message for those of you who are going through it right now, or who are walking through like a dim time. This is where you're headed. You're going to know and understand why. And you'll have full reconciliation with all of it, and understanding and peace with all of it. This is a complete healing. Yeah. Alrighty. I think this was your message, group number 4. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored by your presence, and I hope I see you in another reading. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. I sometimes offer personal readings, so be on the lookout for open slots for those as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved.